Do you ever feel sometimes that you have so much to do you don't even know where to begin, but at the same time wholly inadequate because you can't get everything done? I'll start to think this way from time to time because I have demands pulling at me from all different directions that it's almost paralyzing. I start to get a little bit anxious because I feel like I haven't accomplished enough when compared to everyone else. I don't quite measure up, especially when I've surrounded myself with such exceptional people who seem like they can do it all. I have friends who are not only ultra successful, but more importantly, make a profound impact in other people's lives through their leadership and through their charitable work. I know of 20-year-olds making millions traveling the world. I wholeheartedly root for their success, and I can't wait to see what other amazing things they'll accomplish in the future. But at the same time, their brilliance casts light on my own shortcomings because there's such a wide gap between what they've done and where I am. It kind of makes me think, what am I doing with my life? Why am I still operating at a level of mediocrity? Sometimes I feel like a little bit like the loser in the group. I know I'm not alone in feeling this way, and that most, if not everyone, will have some kind of negative thought from time to time. But from my own personal observation, the difference between those who progress and those who remain stagnant is that the achievers don't allow negative thoughts to wholly consume them, that despite their doubts and feelings of insecurity, they push forward anyway. Even when I was thinking about creating this YouTube channel, I was hesitant because I felt like I wasn't smart enough, that I didn't quite look or sound right. But then I catch myself and I say, wait a minute, this isn't a beauty pageant. Let's refocus on the purpose of this channel, which is to spread positive messages and share ideas, information, and advice that could be useful to other people. So if even one person finds one nugget of useful information in each one of my videos, I would have accomplished my goals. So from learning from different people and books and my own personal experiences, I've derived 4 steps to pull myself out of the funk when the feelings of inadequacy start to creep in. Step number 1 is to give yourself some grace and understanding. I hear from people, mostly women and especially moms, that they're running around ragged, operating on minimum sleep, trying to do everything for everyone, but still feel like they're a disappointment because they're not doing enough and they're letting others down. I wish they see themselves from my perspective. I feel like they're super moms. You know, they're successful while raising a family, or if they're a full-time parent, they're PTA presidents. They're raising sweet, happy kids. Their house is spotless when compared to mine. I never want to hear women say that I'm just a stay-at-home mom. No, raising children full-time is a very noble profession. You are single-handedly making an impact on the next generation. You're raising what hopefully will be productive, well-adjusted members of society. It's a very difficult, exhausting, and often thankless job with no time off or holidays. So you need to learn to speak to yourself like you would speak to a loved one, a family member, a best friend. You'd never call them, a failure, worthless, or other demeaning terms. No, you'd support and provide them love. You see them with their best qualities, and you'd also accept the fact that they have failures. They have mistakes and flaws because they're human. When they're down, you lift them up and help them succeed. So you need to learn to do these things for yourself. Step number 2 is to focus on gratitude and having the abundance mindset. So even though I don't feel like I measure up to some people I know in terms of accomplishment, I'm very happy and fulfilled in my personal life. I have the best family and friends, good health, and all the necessities and opportunities some people can only dream of. So I'd never swap my life or my family for anything in this world. bank accounts I'd happily swap with some of my friends. So friends, if you ever get into the position where you have more money than you know what to do with, please call me and allow me to share that burden and lift some of the weight of that money off your shoulders. Kidding aside, comparison is really the thief of joy. So focus on everything that you already have. Every day, make a mental note. Write in a daily journal if you have to, all the things you're thankful for, all your blessings and your sources of happiness. Because appreciation not only reminds you of your happiness and recharges you, it puts your why, the reason you do what you do, back into the center of focus. Step number 3 is to reclaim your time and save your energy. In order for you to focus on what truly matters, you can't be afraid to speak up and say no when the time calls for it. You know, I don't claim to be great at many things, but one thing that I do take pride in is I'm the queen of being able to say no when I don't want to do something. You don't have to make a scene out of it. You can still be polite and graceful, but be firm to your position. Remember that every time you're saying yes to something, you're actually having to say no to something else because we're limited in our time. So when considering, should I take on another task? Should I accept yet another request for a favor? Ask if it's something that's truly meaningful to you. Is this something worth exchanging time you could be spending with your family, building your dream, or even getting some much needed rest? This is not me dissuading you from altruism. And I'm definitely not saying never do something purely to help someone else out. Far from it. All I'm suggesting is if we stop doing things purely out of guilt all the time, we make room for things that it's truly important to us. Think about it this way. In the morning when you wake up, you only have a set limited number of energy packets to expend that day. So because we can't do everything for everyone, we have to be selective and really prioritize how those energy packets should be spent. It's been suggested to me that, maybe I should consider running for office. Maybe I should take this and that course of action by numerous people. And while I understand that they're well-intended, and maybe taking that course of action could be very noble and it's fulfilling a need in society, I can't live my life in a path that's carved by somebody else. I have to create my own path in the world and live according to my own terms. The fourth and final step is to work on your weaknesses and maximize your strengths. After you've been able to push aside the negative thoughts, learn to appreciate your blessings, and reclaim your time and energy, you've now created room in your life to be able to work on areas needing the most amount of improvement. Everyone has struggles. Often we see people's triumph, but we don't see the years of suffering, many, many sleepless nights, and the overwhelming amount of stress they've had to endure and overcome to get to the glory of success that everybody sees. Nothing of great value comes easy, and that's why we have to continually work on ourselves. If there's an area where you've been insecure about that could be improved on, make a plan to change that. If you're needing tips on this, refer back to my video on how to make resolutions and goals stick once and for all. At the end of the day, it's about the journey, the people that we've helped along the way, and also making a little bit of progress day in and day out that will get you to where you eventually want to be. I hope this video has been helpful to you, and until next time, take care.